Hey guys, Logan here with another video. Today I have something really cool to show you. This is of the SVI 2020 animated lunching coffin vampire, but without the coffin. I'll get into that later. This was sold exclusively for Home Depot, and I believe it was only online only. So this wasn't a prop that was really out there that much, and honestly, it was not very popular either. A lot of people disliked this prop, which is kind of crazy. He's even for SVI, it's pretty neat, and it looks really nice. Like, that sculpt is amazing. This retailed for, I believe, like $150, which fairly generous, I suppose, for a prop like this. So basically, it lunges out of the coffin, similar to kind of like Hugs and Lung Strawman and the Lunching Reaper. Oh good, the wind kicks in right when I'm filming. Fun. With the addition of that arm right there, kind of reaching outwards to grab you. Now it is supposed to be like a groundbreaker coming out of a coffin. I don't know, it would have been a lot cooler if it was a full-size prop. I actually want to talk about the coffin, because why it's not with this prop. The coffin itself is a piece of junk, and honestly is completely worthless. Sorry about that. It doesn't really come together correctly, and it actually sometimes will hinder the movement of the actual vampire, and his shoulders will get caught in it. It's just not a really good piece for this. I actually had to basically redo some parts of this prop because the motion sensor was attached to the coffin. I didn't really want it to be, so I took it off and attached it to the vampire itself, so the vampire can kind of be its own standalone prop, which I'll just use as a groundbreaker since it's still a really neat prop, and I really like the overall design of it, just not so much the coffin. So I got this from Jaden Wright off of Mercari. Huge thank you to Jaden for bringing this to me. He gave me a really good deal for it. It was $230, I think is how much he had it for, which is a pretty good price for already how rare this item is. Given that this was made in a very limited quantity, because two things: one, it was from Home Depot, and two, Home Depot kind of, a lot of retailers jumped the gun last year because of COVID and thought no one's gonna buy anything because of COVID. Oh, you were so wrong. So they really didn't make as many of these as they typically would have, which is a real bummer because again, this is a really cool prop. The costuming I want to talk about is really nice. This is a really nice vampire prop in general. I really wanted a vampire. You know, I didn't pull a Freddy and just buy this because it was SVI, because I really could have cared less who made this. I just wanted a vampire, and a really nice one, because I really don't like the Dark Hanavar and the techie lurching vampire, which is what I'm also after. It's not a really easy to get prop, and I don't like the SVI vampire greeter with the bat. I think it looks awful. I think it looks god-awful. Not trying to attack SVI or anything, because obviously I have this, and this is SVI and I like it, but I do wish they would make more vampires like this, more ominous and menacing ones that look like they're out to get you, because I will eat these up and I will get them, because I've been saying forever that we really need more vampires, and we really don't get any. So this was a really nice change. Overall, though, this is a prop I do recommend. Now, there are a few things to be aware of. So, the motion sensor is super duper duper sensitive. It is a very sensitive sensor. So sometimes he will continue to keep going off over and over and over. It's just how sensitive the sensor is. Which brings to another weird thing about this prop. I almost forgot to mention. When I was putting him together, his mechanism was actually labeled as New Ray Sun Electronics, and someone said I talked to that he has New Ray Sun props, and their sensors are also extraordinarily sensitive. So this really could just be a New Ray Sun motion sensor slapped on an SVI prop, since New Ray Sun was a branch off of SVI. It was a factory they used, and now that it's defunct, SVI is probably just taken some of their parts for them to use now. But So it does continuously go off, and it looks like he's having trouble reset. I don't know why they do that. They keep kind of moving back, jerking back over and over and over when they're trying to reset, and I think that's also what keeps setting them off. This isn't caught in anything, and it still does that, which is really weird. Not that I really mind. I still would have bought this either way, knowing its flaws. Also, the adapter it comes with, not the normal 6-foot adapter, which I was really hoping for. It's, I don't know, not as long as the normal SVI adapters are, or at least not this one. A little bit of a bummer, since he's gonna be out towards the front of my lawn, because I want to have all my ground breakers there to kind of grab at the people when they're going through the display and through the hunt. So, a real bummer. The assembly was really simple. I mean, SVI props in general have a fairly straightforward assembly. They have some complicated ones like the tug of war clowns. We gotta do a little more funky stuff, but this is a very straightforward prop, very straightforward assembly. Pretty easy. Only difficulty was getting the arms and the prongs, like where the shoulders are. They just they fit a little weirdly, and it's a little bit of a pain to get them in there. Like, yeah, they're basically jam them in there. Same with the shoulder bracket, the shoulder bracket where it kind of gives them that hunchback. A little bit of a pain to get in. You just have to really jam it in there. But overall, like I said, fairly simple. And also, again, I really want to appreciate these details, that sculpt, the hair, the hands, even how like the veins painted. Really good for SVI. Good job. This is a really nice prop. So without further ado, I will activate it for you. Audio, nothing special. Oh yeah, see, this opened up a little bit. You can actually see in here. Mechanism was really similar to Hugs and the other lurching props, but this is the piece I said was a little difficult to get in. The plugs, he'll probably just immediately go off, I'm sure. And there's a jerking. So here we get the mechanism in action. It moves really fast, which is a little surprising. Even for SVI, I don't really ever remember their props moving super fast. But yeah, this is a really cool prop. One that I do recommend. If you ever get a chance of getting. I would not spend more than $300 on this item. I mean, despite it being fairly rare already, I wouldn't. But yeah, that is the SVI Lunging Coffin Vampire, or for me, the Lunging Vampire Groundbreaker. Once again, I want to thank Jaden Wright for selling this to me. I will leave a link to his Mercari down below. Highly recommend you check it out. He has a lot of really cool items in, and puppy blooper. But yeah, that's all for me, folks. Have a good one.